Today I'm looking at repairing a DVD player. This is one that I have fixed before, and either my repair has gone wrong or something else has happened. It's a Philips unit, HDMI. It's pretty old. Value of it's only about £15, so it would actually be cheaper to replace it than it is to repair it. However, this is really just for my interest. It's not a value exercise. It's not to try and make money from or to save me money in the long run. I do have other DVD players I can use. I just want to learn how to fix these things. I think I should start by checking the fuse. It could be just a simple fuse problem. Looking at the plug closely, I can't see any burn marks, any evidence where it may have shorted out through not being plugged in correctly. Which is a possibility of why it stopped working. It did actually stop working with a bang. I had been using it. I've got a DVD in it at the moment now, and I'd left it on standby overnight, and then it suddenly went bang in the middle of the night. Loud explosion. Didn't really know what it was at first. A bit of difficulty getting this out. Go on, out you come. There we go. Okay, I'm going to have to get something to check that fuse with. I'll also need to check that I do have spare fuses. There's nothing on that to indicate that that fuse is bad. Then I tend to find that with these household fuses, that they don't really tell you whether they're good or bad. I'll need to get a meter and check the fuse. I don't really like electronics repairs. Electronics tend to be very elusive when they go faulty. They don't tend to leave very physical evidence of why they've failed. Sometimes you can get some black marks where there's been a little arcing, a little shorting. Sometimes components can look bloated or blackened because they've failed, but mostly the failure is hidden. And you need devices like this multimeter to check out what the fault is. We'll put this onto resistance check. That's working. And that isn't. Well, we've got a blown fuse. That's a nice start. That is a nice start. Okay, we've got a blown fuse. That's excellent. This might just be a nice, easy job. Switch out the fuse. Job done. However, there needs to be a reason why the fuse blew. What caused it to blow? So I am going to take the lid off this and have a quick look inside to see if there is any sort of evidence of smoking, burning, shorting. Some other things I could think of. Only 2 screws holding the lid on. Both crossheads. Oh, I'm a liar. There's 5 screws in fact. 5 screws. I have to say that most of these electronics devices, although they're not really expensive, they do tend to have some rather fancy things to them. In this case, a flanged crosshead screw. Very small screw, but it's got a nice flange on it that will help spread the load as it's tightened. Three screws on the back here. Most of these devices are very similar in construction. In some of them cases it's only badge engineering, where They're made in the same factory, on the same production line, by the same sets of hands, but they're given different brand names. However, with Philips, I do believe, although these are made in the Far East, in this case China, I believe they're still made by the Philips company rather than a subsidiary or a contract. And what I'm hoping is this just slides backwards and then out. No, no. Got to pull the bottom out slightly. Come on, there you come. And then out it comes. As you can see, the DVD is in there. Got one of the screws, pick that up, make sure it's safe, and let's have a close look. Now, I did replace that condenser because it was looking rather blown, and that seems to have done its job quite well. However, having a look at this condenser, this is starting to look a bit bloated now as well. On the top, I don't know if that's going to show up very well on camera, might show up by reflection. When the top starts to bloat out, it shows that the condenser has failed. I think that condenser has failed. Everything else looks fine. Oh, wait a minute, we do have some blackening here. Something has gone bang. Yeah, something has failed. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You can see there, got a lot of blackening around here. It's actually, some of it's come off on my finger. So you can see that something has shorted or failed. We seem to have a cracked component. No, I think that motherboard that board is completely wasted. Let's see if we can disconnect this. Two screws hold that motherboard in place. We'll have a close look at that. But it would appear that this DVD unit is US. If it was just a case of repairing a condenser, replacing a condenser, I could do that. Having done one or two, I'm fairly confident in that now. But I'm looking here, and that component has a large split in it. It looks to me as if that has failed. We have a fuse here which is completely blown. And whatever it was connected to, that end has completely blown away. Very interesting that the fuse itself may not have failed. Oh yes, it has. Yes, that fuse has just fallen and buttered. It's fallen to pieces, it has. Yeah, it's not looking very good at all. So unless I can replace that motherboard, and to be honest, I think the cost of replacing the motherboard is going to be greater than the cost of replacing the unit. I don't think this is anything I could fix. It's definitely that fuse that has blown though, that has definitely gone bang. It's also taken out that fuse. I've got no idea why, but that is what the bang was. definitely. No sign of anything particularly on that side of the device. You can see my rather dodgy soldering there. There appears to be some sort of burning here as well. I may actually have caused this to fail. I can see down to the board there. It looks to me as if that has melted away. Yep. I think I'm going to declare this US, which is a shame because I would like to have repaired this. I really would. But no, that's no good. Okay. How do I get the DVD out now? There's the question. Looks like I'll have to take this bridge piece off. Yeah, there you go, bridge piece off. DVD is out, that's salvaged. Shame, shame, isn't it? Just for the sake of that. Gone. Well, there you are, people. What's normally a very reliable Philips unit, completely wasted. No good to man the beast.